What's up, guys? Here with another video. I'm going to take you through the diorama and how I put it together. So I've had a few requests, so I thought it'd be awesome to take you through the process, materials I used, and see if you like it and if you want to do it yourself. So hopefully it's helpful, and without further ado, here we go. Okay, here is the foundation to this diorama. So as you can see, I'll run you through the materials I used. Yeah, and all that. So here we go. So as you can see, we have little grates here, and what these are is these are aquarium gravel filters. So I bought mine off Amazon, and they make really good pieces. So I've seen other people use them too, but they piece together, so you can piece them together, which is nice. And they come in, a variation of packs. You can get kind of as many as you want, and they're reasonably priced too. So they come black. So what I did is I got them black, and then I primed them, and after I primed them, I took a gunmetal gray to it, and I just painted over the top of it, and then I sealed it after I was done. And as you can see, right, this is a really cool looking base for, I don't think I even named this diorama. Like, it's like maybe a spaceship interior or a engine room or something like that, right? Like, it can be pretty generic, so it can be used for lots of things. And then it came with one of these. So these are one of the aquarium tubes, and I bought 4 more, so there's 5 total. And what's cool is they just piece in anywhere you want. So you can squeeze them here, you can put them in a different spot, and they just slide in, which is pretty cool. So I did get, like I said, I got 5 of these. You can always order more. And I did the same. So these are clear tubes, and I painted them with the gunmetal gray as well. Just like I did with this. And I did black wash after, just to kind of dull it down a little bit, make it look a little more rugged, I guess is a good thing. And then as you see here, I used the tube, or the little filters or the hoses that came with it, and I just cut them into pieces, and I made it look like, they are part of, maybe some piping going on or some tubes, just to kind of differentiate it a little bit. So as you can see, so they're fancy, glued them together. And they don't look perfect by any means, but they were there just to kind of set them in, just to add a little bit of depth, and a little bit of uniqueness to it. So that is the base. Okay, now here is the back wall, and I'll run you through the pieces, and I will put it on the base so you can see what it looks like. So here we go. So as you see, I wanted to make an entrance at the top. So this is actually an entrance, which you can see when I put the top piece on, but I wanted a ladder going down, which I used 2 wooden rods here, and then I used the little single cylinder rods there and just cut them and pieced them in like a ladder, glued them in. I used the mesh panels that you use for like crocheting or knitting or whatever it is, and I cut those out to make it look like they were vents, right? So some type of ventilation. As you see here, these are build-a-straws. So they're actually, these things you can buy off Amazon. You can build your own straws. It looks like good piping. So I did paint those copper. So I was debating on what color to paint them, but I thought copper looked really good. And it differentiated from the different tones. So as you can see, the back tone is that gunmetal gray that I used on the base. And this is actually more like that shimmering silver. So it's a little bit brighter tone. And then I thought the copper would kind of offset it pretty good. So as you go through, right, I got some more bendy straws or build-a-straws. I have some more of those mesh panels here at the top. So looks like cool ventilation. These are cake pillars. So you can get those in the baking section at any craft store. So they're just plastic tubes. And I glued those in and painted those copper because I thought they just added a little bit of a nice accent to it for sure. And then here, these, I just had a bunch of leftover. These are actual like little tiny lamp stands. So they came with this little tiny adjustable light, and then those were the platforms for them. And I didn't need the platforms. And I thought, ooh, these would look really cool, just for like that type of, kind of engine-like look, right? Like, or the industrial look. And I, decided to paint them and put them on there. And I think that was a good addition. As you see on the side, we got some piping, same thing. And then as you can see, these little things here, I wanted to add, like I said, some more differentiation. So I put like a diagonal foam piece. So these are foam, insulation foam board with a wood rod there, all right? And if you haven't messed with foam before, this is what it looks like on the back. So it's insulation foam board. You can get it at Home Depot, Lowe's, any of those home improvement stores. And yeah, it's a really good canvas to turn really cool things into really cool things, right? So you got this, you know, and that can easily turn into this, which is pretty cool. So here we go. So let's add this to the dio. And there we go. Not staying too well yet, but it will when I get the other wall. Okay, so that's what we got so far. Okay, so here is the side wall here. So some similar materials. So I used a gunmetal gray, right, for the wall. Used copper straws. Used some wooden rods here, right? These wooden rods, painted them copper as well. Some bendy piping, etc. And then these pieces here were actually to hold little cardboard cutouts for action figures. They're just plastic pieces that I had left over. And that's kind of what I wanted to use when I was building an industrial diorama. I just wanted to, you know, use different materials. And that was some plastic piece I found that I thought, hey, that looks good. So I did that. And this diorama is magnetized, so there are magnets on it. So what's really cool is they piece together like that. And there you go. So pretty simple. So that is what it looks like so far in the diorama. Let's go get the other wall. Okay, here's the other wall. Right, I did another mesh panel right there on the top there. Some wood rods to kind of hold it in place. Some more build-a-straws. And these pieces here are actually they're light switch holders. So they're blue light switch holders that you could find. They're super cheap, but I thought that'd look like some cool electrical boxes. So I decided to go that route with this one. All right, so pretty simple. And then it just magnets on the side there. Okay, there we go. So that is, okay. So that's put together there. So now this is what we're looking at. So we have the side, back, the other side, right, looking pretty good. And then I have the ceiling, which we'll put on in just a second. Okay, and here is the ceiling. So like I said, using that differentiation in color. So the gunmetal gray, the shimmering silver for the grates, and I use copper for the lights. So these are just from the Dollar Tree. They are touch lights that I decided to paint copper. And they look really good. The only problem is I wish I would have went with some better quality ones because two of them are already broken. So I changed the light bulbs out, or sorry, the batteries, but they're still not working. So future recommendation, get better quality touch lights if you want to do a dio like this, because you know what I can do is I can replace them, because this is, I mean, standard size, so I can replace it. The only problem is then I have to repaint it again to look like that. So so I have one that works well, one that works okay, and one that doesn't work at all. So let's put this on real quick so you can see what it looks like. So here we go. So it just goes right on the top. And this is a little doorway that you can see here at the top. Here we go. Okay. And there we go. And there's the diorama in its entirety. So you can see, so there's the sides, the back, the other side, the top, and I'll turn one of the lights on for you, just so you can see what it looks like. All right, so it lights up, looks really good. Let's see if, yes, that one still doesn't work. Let's see the third one. And this one works a little bit, it's kind of dull, so it doesn't work super well. Okay, right, so we have those. All right, so two lights, two of the three working, right? Like I said, use better quality lights. And then see, there's the opening for it, which I thought was really cool. So if I wanted to build and expand upon this, right, I could put a diorama on top if I wanted to, and I can basically make this into, you know, the baseboard for the next one that I build. And that would look really cool. So yeah, I built it knowing that I could expand off it. So that's it. I also built this table out of wood, right? This wood piece is this you know, like surgical table or whatever, that you can also just squeeze in the diorama just to add a little bit of extra details. So here, let me grab a few things and I'll show you what it looks like, you know, how it could look like for a picture. Here we go. Okay, and here we go. I didn't add too much, but I just added a few things here just to kind of show you what a shot could look like. Right, I added some of the buckets. So these are like little slime buckets you get from the dollar store. I just painted those up to make them look like legit buckets. Here's one of the NECA weapons. They had a little weapons accessory pack, so I got that there just to, you know, add a little bit. Have the Terminator there, have some chains that I bought from the store that kind of look like they're in scale. And I forgot to tell you, I always put these in the dioramas, so if you don't recognize these are engine coils for a car. So I had some old ones, so I just painted them up to make them look like they're part of this industrial dioramas. They just add a little extra bit. So, you know, a fun way to repurpose things. I was gonna get rid of them anyways. And then, right, this predator here, this is the laser shot predator from NECA, and it comes up the light up eye, which I think is really cool. So I thought this one was pretty fitting. So there you go. So there you have it. So like I said, I wanted to take you through, I had a few requests on kind of bringing this diorama to life and showing the process. So hopefully that helps. Just remember, and I didn't say this before, but when I paint the dioramas, I do a black base coat on all of it, right? And that just gives it this cool kind of rugged look. So it all looks like, right, the interior of this door, right? So just black. And then then I put colors over the top, and I put it on light. I don't put it on very heavy. And, you know, if I need to do multiple layers, I do, but I like to put it on light because then it gives me an idea of what I'm looking at, and it can leave the variation, right, kind of the black to kind of show through a little bit when you paint over it, which just gives it a more rugged, kind of older look. So you'll notice that throughout, that, right, the copper, the silver, etc., is all put on pretty lightly, and then I black wash over the top to make it look even more rugged. So those are some best practices. I will continue to show off more and more dioramas, especially if people keep asking for it. And I can kind of walk you through the ones that I built. So hopefully you enjoyed this diorama breakdown. And yeah, if you want to do it yourself, feel free to. So I will continue to put out videos. So feel free to like and subscribe. Should have some more reviews coming soon, as well as more diorama videos. So thank you all so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.